It is over in Oxford, Mississippi, and Ole Miss prevails 24-19 over LSU in a game that was really, really good, even if you're on the losing side of LSU. What an incredible game. But Lane comes away the winner, starting a second string quarterback against LSU. A guy that was playing D2 ball just a year ago came in and absolutely balled out, threw for 314, was 23 of 39. Yeah, he had an interception, but he had a touchdown, and the guy just looked really, really good. And now this raises some questions about LSU, and then maybe puts Ole Miss more into a place that they're truly considered for a run in the SEC. We'll definitely see. Of course, Alabama and Georgia has something to say about that. But for right now, Ole Miss played very, very well. There was a really good scheme there. They improved to 5-0, 3-0 in the conference, and LSU 4-1, 1-1 in the SEC. Let's talk some stats real quick. First, we'll look at the team stats. Um, if there was one team that defense actually did quite well, believe it or not, it was Lane Squad. Lane Squad held LSU to 254 total yards, 197 in the air, and only 57 on the ground. LSU, and I can't remember. I don't think Caden Durham did. Caden Durham, I don't think he played in this game. And I know that's a big deal. Maybe could have been the difference. But you do have Garrett Nussmeier. I'll get to that in a second. But you only rushed for 57 yards. That was a really big deal. You only had 16 first downs if you're LSU. Ole Miss had 28 first downs. Both teams were 2 for 2 on fourth down conversions, which is really interesting. But third down really bit LSU. They were 2 of 11. And of course, Ole Miss was 8 of 16 when it comes to, they were 50% on converting their third downs. And so that's a big story here as well. Now, Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, you think of offense, the guy had 480 total yards, 314 in the air, 166 on the ground. And this is a scenario where there were some really bad things that you could say that was not in Ole Miss's favor, or some things that were not in Ole Miss's favor. For instance, they had 2 turnovers. They lost a fumble. They threw an interception. They also were penalized 14 times for 109 yards. Now, LSU had one turnover, excuse me. They threw one interception, and they had 7 penalties for 78 yards. When you step back and you look at this, there's some equalizers here on both sides of the ball. And I mean, it was a 5-point game. Ole Miss had the ball 32 minutes, 22 seconds to LSU's 27 minutes and 38 seconds. Let's talk about Garrett Nussmeier. In the preseason, there were 2 quarterbacks who were consistently talked about leading into this season. And it was Garrett Nussmeier and my Clemson Tigers, Cade Klubnik. And folks, my Clemson Tigers, they're a dumpster fire. And that's just the truth. But Garrett Nussmeier and this LSU, especially the LSU team, I had a lot of questions. About them. And Nussmeier came out and threw for 197. He's 21 of 34, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Not a banner day, especially in a banner game like this. But my question coming into this game is that my question was, how will LSU do? How will they respond when they play an offense who will actually be aggressive? And the reason I ask that, again, I'm taking a shot at my Clemson Tigers, but they earn it. I don't take shots at people unless they earn it. Clemson scored 10 points on them. Florida scored 10 points on them. Louisiana Tech, who cares? Southeast Louisiana, again, who cares? What prominent offense played LSU up into this point? And the truth is, no one. Now, even with the 480 yards of total offense, LSU still only lost by 5 points. Okay? They still only lost by 5 points. But as an outsider looking into this game, Garrett Nussmeier, he's just not putting up the numbers that you would expect from a guy in his tenure at a school. Okay? That's one. And then next up, I mean, they were held to 254 yards, of course, Caden Durham, etc. But I'm just saying, Caden Durham would have had to have rushed for 226 yards. Actually, it had been more than that to even get them close to the total yards that Ole Miss had. So, I mean, Caden Durham couldn't have made. He would have had to have a historic day to even get them close to. I mean, they were almost doubled in yards by Ole Miss. So, kudos to Ole Miss and the Rebels. Those guys, they're 5-0, they're 3-0 in the SEC. Definitely will go into the top 10. And it's just extremely interesting to see how they do. Now I'm setting my stopwatch now to see how quick the LSU fans turn on Brian Kelly, because you know it's coming. It's coming. You know it. I know it. All God's children knows it. So we'll see. We'll see if they give him some grace for this one. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Let's talk about the next games for LSU. They'll actually play South Carolina. Then they're at Vanderbilt. Then they have Texas A&M, at Alabama, Arkansas, Western Kentucky, and then finishing out at Oklahoma. So not an easy schedule. Going over to Ole Miss, who do they have after this? Well, they're actually going to play Washington State. Then they'll be at Georgia, at Oklahoma, South Carolina, the Citadel, Florida, and then at Mississippi State, who, by the way, is giving Tennessee all they can. Right now, in fact, as of the recording of this video, Mississippi State's beating Tennessee right now. So, all right, folks, what's going to happen now with both of these teams? Will the fan base turn against Brian Kelly, or is it just a 5-point loss and that's just the SEC and you have more to play for? I want to hear it in the comments section. Let me know. Pass this around to your LSU and Ole Miss fans. Let them know that I'm talking about them. And if you like what I'm doing, I hope